Hey, Callum, congratulations on your win. With all the talk that you guys had leading up to the fight, did you expect him to be more aggressive than he was tonight?
Yeah, definitely. I never underestimated him. I always expected him to be a good fighter. He's 17-0 for a reason. His father is a world champion, and they've been around for a long time. They know the game, a lot of experience, and there was times where at the start I wanted it to be a bit more, but I got the win, so it's good.
And you had a decisive victory. Obviously, you've been fighting a lot on the UFC Fight Pass. Do you feel any pressure to perform, with the Zuffa boxing, which I'm sure you're going to be a big part of going forward?
Walking out, I felt no pressure. When I got in the ring, after the first round, I didn't feel at my best. I felt sluggish, I felt slow. And I think after that, I put a lot of pressure on myself to perform. When I felt like, I need to be better. And because it was frustrating because I know how good I can be. I know how much experience I have, and I know what I can do. And I think after I realized I was having a slow night, I put a lot of pressure on myself to perform.
Callum over here, congratulations, man. Callum, it feels like this has always been what it's been building up to when the UFC got behind you. Now being part of this big card, can you just talk a little bit about the whole experience of reaching this moment in your career?
Yeah, it's been amazing. I've been fighting since I was 6 years old, and it's such an honor to be here, to fight in front of this many people. It was insane, and for my grandmother to see me, my amateur coaches from Ireland to come over, and the people that have seen me since I was a kid to now see me fight the co-main event, Canelo Crawford. It's an unbelievable experience, and I'm very happy to be here. And, I do feel a bit disappointed because I wanted to be better. But at the end of the day, I beat an undefeated fighter, so I'm happy.
You've obviously headlined your own events. They've taken you back to Ireland. But can you put into words what it was like to walk out there in that stadium for the co-main event tonight?
Oh, it was amazing. This whole week couldn't have been better. I just want to give a massive thank you to the UFC staff, everybody involved with this event, the PI, the stuff that I was able to do this week. Usually with boxing, everything's all over the place, I went to the PI for the weight cut. They helped me the whole weight cut. They provided me with meals, rehydration drinks, and then to walk out and be able to fight in front of, I think it was like 70,000 people. What an honor. I'm 24 years old. I think people forget that too. I'm still learning. I'm still growing into this sport as a pro. And I think tonight I gained a lot of experience.
Final question. Obviously now as you've continued to grow, still undefeated, got some clout now. You could call your shots now. Is there a name in mind that you would like for your next fight?
I'm a very simple man. I just show up and fight. Whoever they want me to fight, I'll show up and try to get the job done. I'll do my best always. I don't have anyone in mind. I know Turkey asked me if I want to fight in November. I said, no problem, just let me know. So I'm willing to fight 5-6 times a year. I have a bit of bruising on my face, but nothing too bad, so I think I'll be back in November.
What was your biggest takeaway from this week? Obviously, we know you fought on some big stages, but this is unlike any other thing you fought. So what was the biggest takeaway maybe from yourself or just how you handled everything this week?
Yeah, everything. This is all new to me, fighting on a stage this big. It's all new, and I think I'll take a lot away from this week, the fight, the warm-up, being here so long, really getting used to hanging around, waiting for the fights, and then the walkout took a lot longer than it usually does for me, to walk out. And nevertheless, I enjoyed every minute of it. I'm very happy to be here, very happy to fight, and I think I'll only grow from this massively. I have an undefeated record on my record now. I fought a 17-0 guy that had 15 knockouts. And people can say what they want about him, but at the end of the day, when you're in there, nobody wants to lose that O, and I think it made him fight harder, and I enjoyed it, and I'd definitely take a lot away from this fight.
You notice a bigger support from the Fighting Irish this time around?
Yeah, the fighting Irish, the Irish are the best fans in the world. I get great support from Ireland, and I always represent the country, and I try to do it best as possible, and tonight was disappointing for me. I know how much better I can be, and I'm looking forward to the next one.
Callum over here, congratulations on your victory. Earlier tonight, your promotional stablemate, Serhii Boachuk, lost. Is that a fight that you think would be great for you as a step-up fight moving forward?
I have no idea, I have no idea. I like Serhii, he's nice. We've sparred before, there's no bad blood there. But at the end of the day, I always say I don't pick and choose fights. We're both fighters, I presume he has the same attitude, he fights anybody. But I don't think it's a fight that will happen. I just don't see it happening.
You've always said that you're ready for the highly credible challengers and contenders. Who out of the top 15 would you think is a perfect step-up fight for you?
Anybody, I don't pick and choose fights. I always say just put somebody in front of me and I'll show up. Give me a date, give me a name, and I'll show up and fight. And like I said, Turkey asked me for November, so we'll see who they put in front of me.
Congrats.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hello, hello. Hello.
What IBF belt?
Right here, the WBO. Who got the WBO?
What's this?
That's the WBA. Somebody got the WBO. Huh? Yeah, let me get a water.
Look at all this jewelry I got.
Wayne, give Saul that seat.
Papo, get closer.
Or you can start back here.
Barely too.
Hey, Terrence, congratulations. Magnificent performance tonight. Seemed like the first 3 rounds you were trying to just figure them out. Was that the game plan and start turning it up maybe in round 4?
Well, the first 3 rounds, you know, I felt like I was in control. You know, I think he was trying to figure me out.
Did you feel that you were frustrating him? He tried to lift you up. He headbutted you. Were you sensing that you were frustrating him?
Of course, you know, he was a little frustrated in there, but that's part of the game.
And last question is, I know it's right after the fight. Have you feel yet the significance of this win and what it means in your legacy and your career?
To be honest, when I set my sights on doing something and I know what I'm capable of, it's not like a surprise to me. It's a surprise to y'all because y'all didn't believe me, you know, but for me, I knew I could do it, and I believed that I could do it. I just needed the opportunity.
Terrence, when did you know that you were going to beat him? Over here on your left.
When he signed the contract.
He seemed to focus mostly on body punches, and you were hitting him in the head a lot. Was it your reach that gave you the advantage?
It was everything. You know, he wasn't hitting the body or anything. He was hitting my elbow because I was blocking it. But, you know, I think I was the better man tonight.
What was that moment where you were pushed aside by the ring and they suspended they called a timeout for a second and then started the fight again in the middle? I think it was the 7th inning.
Well, I got headbutted. I got cut. I got to go get stitches. You didn't see it?
No.
Oh, yeah. He headbutted me. So I got to go get stitches after this.
Hey, bud, straight back, right here.
What's up, Dan?
Congratulations on the victory. I want to ask you a little bit about the history that you made tonight, and I want your opinion on which means the most to you. You became a 5-division world champion. You became the 3rd 4-division lineal champion with Mayweather and Pacquiao. You became a 3-time undisputed champion, the first ever in the 2, 3, or 4 belt era. And you became the 2nd undisputed champion in 3 weight classes when there was only 1 champion back in 1938 with Henry Armstrong. That's a lot of stuff.
You hear that? You hear that?
Which do you think means
all
the
of
most?
It.
And
all of it. It all goes hand in hand.
Can you describe what it all means to you to have? You just made like a whole resume of stuff tonight.
It means a lot to me because, you know, anybody can be a nobody. Like I said, you know, and that's all they say I've been fighting is nobodies. So what can they say now? Somebody tell me, what can you say now?
And say congratulations.
That's it. What can you say? Any words?
Terrence.
I bet you did.
But I want to ask you one other thing about that.
Terrence.
A lot of the conversation about the fight was you moving up 2 weight divisions. I wonder if you could describe, like, once you got in there, how did it feel in terms of fighting at that weight and the bulk that Canelo tried to put upon you?
I was stronger. I punched harder, and that was just it. You know, a lot of people put too much into me moving up in weight and things like that. But like I told y'all once before, Canelo is not a big guy. You know, he's a smaller guy fighting in a big weight class. You know, me and him is practically almost the same height. I'm a little taller. My arms longer than him. You know, he got a little wider frame, but he's a little shorter. But all in all, you know, we're around the same size. So by y'all saying, oh, Canelo's this massive size, it was kind of like disrespect. Then when y'all see me weigh in, then y'all say, oh, well, they not the same. It's not a big difference.
All right, and lastly then, what was his power like? Have you been hit by anybody that strong before?
I've been hit harder.
No, in a real fight, not a sparring.
In a real fight. Avanesian, I mean, not Avanesian, but Mean Machine hit harder than Canelo, to me. To be honest.
Terrence.
Congratulations.
Terrence, right here in front. Congratulations on a historic accomplishment. Would you consider this your signature win of your career, or is there another win that means more to you?
No, for sure, this is definitely a signature win. You know, moving up 2 weight classes, being the B-side, fighting a guy that's been undefeated in the division, undisputed, going to take all his titles, you know, doing everything that I said I was going to do. You know, of course this means a lot. You know, my other undisputed runs, you know, I had titles and things like that. So I was coming in as a champion as well. But this one, you know, I was coming in as an underdog, no championship belts, you know, and I felt like everything was on the line.
At any point, did you feel you had to make adjustments in the ring?
Well, you know, around like the 6th round, I felt like I needed to step it up a little more and, you know, get in more control of the fight because the fight was going like a seesaw effect.
And when you were announced as the winner, you went down on one knee. Could you just describe how that moment felt to you and what was going on through your mind?
No, I knew I won. When the last bell were on, I knew I won, you know. But like I said before, God don't make no mistakes, and it's no mistake that, you know, I'm here for a reason. And I've been telling y'all that all week, that it's God's plan, not my plan. I just, you know, carried out his mission.
Terrence, when we spoke on Tuesday, you talked a lot about your preparation and how confident you would, in leading up to this, and how you would break this fight down and how it was going to go. Did it go exactly to plan as you prepared for this for the last couple of months? Was it each round? Did it go as planned?
Of course. You know, everything that we set our sights on to do in the fight, you know, we executed it. You know, I wanted to do a little more, but my coaches wanted me to keep doing what I was doing that was working. You know, so I had to make sure that I was disciplined and keep doing what was working.
And then I know you said you weren't surprised, obviously, in how you dominated, but was there any surprise that as the fight went on, he typically feeds off those later rounds and builds momentum, but it appeared that he got more frustrated and weaker maybe, or less conditioned? Did that surprise you at all?
I don't think he was less conditioned or anything. You know, I just think I was the better man. I think you're not giving him enough credit, and you're trying to take things away from him. He was 1,000% prepared. You know, I just think I was the better man today.
but so much goes on behind the scenes that we never get to see, the long nights of preparation, sticking with the same team through adversity and many years of preparation. When you look into the faces of your team after achieving this win, how do you feel looking at all these people that have helped you carry yourself to success?
Oh, I feel great, because they've been doubted just like me. You know, when people doubt me, they doubt my team. They think my team can't, take me to where I want to go because they don't have the recognition of being in a big city and have this big following. But, a lot of great fighters coming through our stable, and, they paving the way, for the next generation. And, I'm the forefront. And we ain't doing nothing but making history.
Terrence, was this fight about proving them all wrong or proving yourself right?
Both. Prove the doubters wrong and prove myself right. Like I said, it's a lot of disappointed people, going home tonight. And some of them gonna cry, like I said, but it's part of the sport.
And lastly, I asked you at the press conference the other day, what was your definition of greatness? It came full circle for you by claiming the throne. Now, what is your definition of greatness to you?
You're looking at him.
Congratulations. The whole team.
Terrence, congratulations on your victory. With the way you beat Canelo tonight, Spence a couple of years ago, everyone is going to start making comparisons with your legacy to Floyd Mayweather. How do you feel you compare with Floyd with the resume you have now?
Listen, Floyd was the greatest in his era. I'm the greatest in my era. It ain't no need to compare me to Floyd or Floyd to me.
You talk the talk and you sure walk the walk. Your confidence and aura is on another level. Could we see a run as a light heavyweight?
Nah, we ain't going up that much.
Now, would you consider going back down to 154 and face Jaron Ennis, the guy who prepared Canelo Alvarez for this fight?
Nope. I ain't going down 154.
Terrence, obviously it was a great show today. I was curious about your entrance, how you came to choose that song in particular to walk out to.
Well, it was part of my outfit. The outfit was inspired by the movie Desperado. As you see, I had the guitar and everything, and my great childhood friend, Rosendo Robles, he was the one that, carried the song out and performed the night. And, it was a wonderful night. Like I said, I got Mexicans and Latinos on my side as well. So, it was a beautiful night tonight.
Did you know Ilia Topuria walks out to that song in the UFC?
You said what?
Ilia Topuria walks out to that song in the UFC.
Did he? Oh, good. Good for him.
Terrence, Radio Raheem in the back. The narrative of this fight was, could your chin stand up to Canelo's power? You took his punches, but to me it seemed you neutralized his biggest shots. I don't know that he hit you even with his biggest shot. Do you consider that a greater accomplishment than proving that you have the chin to take the biggest shot?
It goes hand in hand, A lot of people say I don't have no defense. I get hit with these big shots, and that's what they was worried about. Hey, it's only so much that they can say now.
Down the stretch of the fight, we saw Canelo drop his hands at some point, shake his head. It appeared to me like he was mentally being broken. Did you perceive it that way? What did you think was going on in those 11th and 12th round when we saw Canelo seem to stop fighting for seconds?
Yeah, he was definitely frustrated, because what he was trying to do wasn't working. And when he get hit, he's just like, man, he shook his head like, I can't believe I got hit with that.
And last one from me. Where do you rate Canelo amongst your opponents? I mean, you're speaking about it as if it was an easy night. You've been hit harder. Where do you put him on the list of your most difficult opponents?
I'm not saying it was an easy night. By far, it wasn't easy. It just, you look like that, but it definitely wasn't easy. He's definitely, you know, at the top of my opponents that I faced, for sure.
Are you open to a rematch?
And I'm open to wherever, you know. Like I said, I'm going to sit back, enjoy my victory with my team, and, you know, I have my birthday in 2 weeks since I'm old, everyone.
Thank you for a great night and an incredible performance. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Terrence right here.
Terrence right here.
It's Andreas L. from ESPN. We did a story on you talking about how competitive you are and your will to win. Did you feel like you had to dig deep in this fight, or did you feel like Canelo, you just kind of took the fight out of him early and he wasn't able to be as competitive as he wanted to be?
No, I think, you know, he was trying to be competitive, but he respect my power, you know, and he respect my boxing ability and things like that. And I think what was frustrating him the most is, you know, all his big shots, I was blocking and, you know, catching and countering. So I think that was really, you know, a big factor in why he was frustrated.
I think you said a lot, but when you're going to say, I told you so, and you wanted to relish the victory, it's now at the time to tell everybody, once again, I told you so.
Oh, well, they know. The ones that doubted me, they know. I don't have to say I told you so or rub it in their face. You know, they know and they see it. And, you know, this is right here is I told you so. Right here.
Terrence down in the middle. Terrence right here.
Terrence right here.
Terrence right here in the middle. Max Kellerman called you the GOAT of this era in the post-fight. After everything you've been through, man, what was like hearing those words?
Hey, listen, like I said, the great things come to those who wait. You know, the cream always rise to the top. All the time that they blocked me out, they said I wasn't fighting nobody, I can't beat this dude, I can't beat that dude. Every time that I got a chance, I wiped the floor with him. Wiped the floor with him. So just imagine where I would have been at today if I had got them opportunities a long time ago. But then again, it wasn't my time. My time is now, and I'm happy that everything played out the way it did, and you're looking at the undisputed champion of the world right now.
Terrence, William King, Omaha, Nebraska. I got a question for your coach. Got a question for your coach, William King, right here. Tall, dark, and handsome, right here. You know it. Man, I'm so proud of you today, right now, and your team. I'll just watch.
Which coach? I got 3 coaches up here, Bill.
To your left. The one I always be always talking smack. But no, but I saw your son and my great nephew yesterday, a couple days ago. Yeah. They got interviewed by Fight Hub TV, and they predicted you was going to win. But they were so proud of you, those young fighters. What does it mean to you when you go back to the gym on Monday? As far as your coaches and your coaching team, what does that mean when you go back to your gym?
So that's for Bud or for me?
For all of y'all. I want to hear from all of you gentlemen. Because right now, when I see Muhammad Ali, I'm going to see Terrence Crawford in the future. Because right now, this is bigger.
So you said Bud's son? You seen Bud's son?
I saw Bud's son and my great-nephew Reno speaking, predicting that his dad and his surrogate father are going to win. What does that mean to you when you go back to the gym? Because those young men and young women look so much up to you, so much up to your team.
Well, to me, it's just like I'm saying, it's how the man live. He a great father. You understand? He raises kids up in the way they should go, and they see his commitment to them and to his craft day in and day out. So they was confident in his victory. You know, for me, it's like full circle. It's the Terrence Crawford era, and we believe in God highly, and it's his time now. And if it's like you say, you see somebody else can do it, you can do it, but you just can't just think that. You got to put the work in, and Crawford put the work in since he was a baby. So, you know, it's more than just talking about it, it's about being about it. You understand? So for everybody that's in the gym, that's everybody around them, please start paying more attention to him and what he's doing instead of just hanging on, hanging around. Really study Crawford, you understand? Really study him. Take in what he's doing. It's not just him running miles. It's not just him hitting the bag and sweating. he's focusing, he's studying, he's really honing his craft. You know, so that's what I would say we're taking in that. So it's not just when you see him, you can do it, but you got to put the work in too.
have to worry. Testing 1, 2, 3. For all, hello? Hold on, turn me on. Testing, 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 testing. 5 of each. 5 of each. 5 total. Hello, testing, testing. Come up. Just to let everybody know, Canelo will be taking 5 questions a todos. Un total de 5 preguntas esta noche. No importa si inglés o español, son 5 en total.
Saúl, acá de este lado. En resumidas cuentas, ¿con qué te quedas de esta noche, Saúl? Una derrota que te quita los cinturones, pero ¿tú con qué te quedas?
So just for everybody here, what do you take from this night? A defeat, but what do you extract from tonight?
Fue una gran noche para el boxeo. Me siento muy orgulloso de lo que se logró hoy. Como mexicano me siento muy orgulloso de lo que he logrado, de hasta donde he llegado para representar a mi país. Me siento muy orgulloso. Fue una gran noche para el boxeo.
A great night for boxing, a great night for the sport, for everyone. And as a Mexican, everything that I have accomplished for my people, for the country, very proud, and a great night for boxing.
Straight back, Canelo. Straight back. Right here. Can you describe what it was like for you fighting Bud, what he was doing that was giving you the kind of problems that you couldn't really do enough to get what would have been, I guess, a close decision?
Y para todos, ¿cómo fue enfrentar a Bud Crawford, los problemas que te dio y cómo no pudiste seguir con tus planes?
We already know. We knew Crawford is a great fighter, and I did what I supposed to do, right? I tried for every way, and I trained really hard, and he deserved all the credit. No, I try my best tonight, and I just cannot figure out the style.
Was it something specific, the movement or his speed or power, or what? Was there something you could put your finger on that gave you the most trouble?
Everything.
Okay.
He have everything.
And just one more, Canelo, it has been, I can't even know the number of years it's been since you've been without a world title. Even after you lost to Dimitri Bivol, you still were the super middleweight champion. It's been probably 10 years or whatever since you haven't had a title. Has it sunk in yet that for the first time in all that time, you're not a world champion?
Can you repeat the question, please?
Just that it's been so many years since you have not been a world champion. And so has it sunk in yet that for the first time in forever, you're not a world champion?
No, I feel a champion, no matter what. You know, I win no matter what, and I still feel a champion. So it is what it is. You need to take the loss and accept everything. But I'm gonna continue. I'm gonna continue to do it.
Canelo, Radio Raheem back here in the back. In the 11th and 12th round, there were moments where it looked as if the frustration was coming through. You put your hands down, you shook your head. What were you feeling and thinking in that moment? Was the frustration getting the better of you?
You know what? Sometimes you try and your body cannot go, right? That's my frustration. Maybe I can figure out Crawford, but my body cannot go anymore. So I try it, but my body just not let me go. And you need to accept it. That's it.
Power was a big narrative in this fight. At any point in the fight, do you feel like you hit Crawford with your biggest and best shot?
No, I don't think so. I hit Crawford, but no clean shots. Like with all my power.
What do you feel like he was doing to neutralize your ability to land your big punches?
No, he's a great fighter. He's a good fighter. He know how to move and everything.
Thank you so much. Incredible fight. We'll see you again. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Hola, Saúl. Buenas noches.
Canelo, back here, Canelo. Marcus Hayes with Fight Hub TV, right here in the middle.
Yeah.
Champ, first off, I want to thank you for the illustrious career that you have given us in the game. You've been a steadfast professional in the way that you conducted yourself, and I want to thank you on behalf of all of the boxing media.
Thank you, sir.
Number
it's
two,
my pleasure.
Champ, I wanted to ask you, this was a fight that we haven't seen from you before. We've never seen you have the sustained and prolonged frustration during the fight. Was there a point in time where you figured that this just wasn't going to be my night? And if you did, when did that happen?
No, I never thought that. I always try. All the rounds I try, but you need to accept it, right? Sometimes you cannot go, and I try all the rounds. I never think about that because, imagine. So I cannot think in that way, but I try my best tonight.
And lastly for me, Champ, in the world of comparisons that we live in right now, if you can, compare and contrast the fight between yourself and Floyd Mayweather Jr. and tonight's bout with Terrence Bud Crawford, if you can.
No, I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather.
Saúl, ¿cómo estás? Buenas noches. Acá Enrique Veas de este lado. Oye, Saúl, dos cosas rápidas. Terminaste, bajaste del ring y dijiste justamente ahí también, ahí en el ring, que has ganado porque aquí justamente aquí está tu familia. Pero ¿qué platicaste con ellos? ¿Qué platicaste con Eddie? ¿Qué quiere Saúl a partir de ese momento? ¿Qué viene para ti después de esta tercera derrota?
What have you spoken to your family? What comes for Saúl Canelo Álvarez after this?
Obviamente mi familia dándome ánimo, ¿no? Un poquito triste, mis hijos, mi esposa. Pero al final de cuentas les dije que así es esto, ¿no? Se aprende de todo, no es una derrota y hay que aceptar las derrotas como las victorias también y de todo se aprende y creo que es una buena lección, ¿no? De aprender esta noche y es lo que le dije a mis hijos, a mi esposa y aceptar las cosas es lo primordial, ¿no? Aceptar cuando se pierde, cuando se hacen las cosas bien y al final se pierde. Es importante que ellos sepan que hay que aceptar las dos caras de la moneda, ¿no? Obviamente platicando en el vestidor, no me has platicado mucho de qué es lo que viene, pero ya ahorita lo que quiero es disfrutar a mi familia, a mi hija, la más chiquita que ahorita está en el cuarto, no puede salir porque tiene un mes apenas, disfrutarlos y ver qué es lo que viene.
I went down to actually speak to my family for obviously the support that they always give me, and tonight was it's an opportunity to learn. That's what I taught my family today. Tonight is an opportunity to learn and to evolve, and that's what you learn from defeat. And also, we haven't had a chance to talk about the next step and the future yet. Of course, I just want to enjoy my family. My daughter's in the room; she can't come out. She's a month old. I just want to be able to enjoy every single one and see what comes next. You're a surefire Hall of Famer, and everyone knows the legend that you are. But today we heard some things from you that we haven't heard in a while. I'm not sure if I understood when you said in English that the body didn't respond as well. We didn't see you put the combos and the rhythm that you do we've been used to seeing from you. What do you think about in the future for something like this? Does that make you think? And does that make you think about? Maybe some opportunity for rematches against Crawford himself and others. All those things that stay there in the back of your head that you wanted to get rid of.
Como lo dije, no, ahorita lo único que tengo en la cabeza es disfrutar a mi familia, disfrutar a mi hija que acaba de nacer. Después de eso, algunas semanas, 2, 3, 4 semanas, no sé, hablar con mi equipo y ver qué es lo que viene para el futuro. Ahorita lo que quiero es disfrutar porque extrañé mucho a mi familia, así que quiero disfrutar y después ver qué es lo que viene para el futuro. Pero seguramente vienen cosas buenas. Agradecidos con todos ustedes por todo el apoyo. Thank you so much for all the support for this event, and I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much, okay?
Testing, test, test, okay. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the press conference for tonight. Solo para que ustedes sepan, esta termina la noche de la conferencia de prensa. Canelo fue el último a venir. Gracias. Thank you so much.